and the intensity. It's like the passion, because it's coming straight from out of you. And so if it's going to have Martha Stewart's name on it, that shit better be fucking perfect.
Yeah. What is that to like be able to fully command that this is what I need?
You are about to be informed.
Start off with 10. Name famous manifestors throughout history.
Oh god.
Because on the
Hitler. Mine was Adele.
The opposite
Maya Angelou.
Oh.
Piper Reynolds.
Yeah.
I recently found out that Allen Ginsberg was a manifestor, and I was really pleased by that fact.
I feel you on that. Martha Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Like,
Come
y'all,
on.
I want to take, like, I don't need a fucking another subscription, but I want to get on Masterclass just to take her Masterclass. I'm like, whatever you have to tell me in terms of like how you think, I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Like, can I just sit in your aura?
Yeah. I've watched one of the documentaries. I think there are multiples on the different streaming sites, but I think so. I think there's like is there a Netflix one?
Yeah. That's the only one that I know of.
I think there's another one that's on Amazon Prime. I've seen that one because that's what I have. I don't have Netflix. So I will like to consume all of the documentaries that have been made about her.
When you're done, you have to read her critique of the documentaries because
she was savage.
Yeah,
that's fucking amazing.
What channel
she was like, I did not approve of the way that they portrayed me.
Mm-hmm.
They made me look like an old woman in my garden. She was like not happy at all. But they were still really good.
I remember watching that and I messaged Karen right away. I was like, must watch. Okay.
I feel like something that she does that I would like to fold into my world more is like exacting standards of being. I feel like there's a real knife edge for manifestors of like this is the vision, and we will not move away from the vision. And if it is not, I don't know, maybe that's also like my channel of judgment that I want it to be, correct. Things to be correct. Yeah.
I've been trying to. There was a version of me when I worked at a makeup store where I like climbed up the ladder really quickly, and I was like in charge of shipping or whatever. And I remember when I first started, my boss, like there was one time when I was stalking and I heard her talk about me, like behind my back, basically. But then it turned around to like, she came to me I just basically told her what I was doing. And she's like, okay. And I had a team of people and I just told them what needed to get done. And I was always just left to my own demise. And like, I could stay in the office and she was like, do not bother her. This needs to get done. And it was only me that was getting that treatment. And like all the other managers were, I'm pretty sure they hated me. Like hindsight looking at it now. But that person that I became that I didn't know I had in me, I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, I don't know how I did that. And I would like that in my life now, because I was still so insecure in that whole process. Like, every day had anxiety showing up, but I ran that fucking back room. And I want to do that for my life. Like, I'm doing this for other people, right?
Yes.
Anyways.
I feel that a lot now that I'm getting like sending art out to be printed like externally. It feels correct because of the person who is printing, and I know how he's a Virgo. I know it'll be done how I want, and he's very open to keeping it all in like the starshine way. And so it feels good. But I think that's why it has taken me so long to let it go out, let it be outsourced. I think I sent something to a printer with the Dirt is Divine bumper stickers, and then I got a canvas print that came with those. It was like a piece of art that I had made, and they were shit. And that was like the only time that, and I was like, this is not. And then I ended up getting my money back for that order because it was just like so not correct. And I think I wrote like a pretty aggressive Martha Stewart style email to the guy about it. And he's like, yeah, sure. Here's your refund. Don't ever contact me again, please. But yeah, it's important to, when you're producing, especially when it's coming from here, that it's going to be done correctly. And I totally understand the intensity. It's like the passion, because it's coming straight from out of you. And so if it's going to have Martha Stewart's name on it, that shit better be fucking perfect.
Yeah. But what is that to like be able to fully command that this is what I need to get done, and have that, like, have people be able to respond to that?
Informing.
Well, yeah, I think that's the relationship I'm in now with my printer, is that we have that open line of communication, and I'm able to send a full, 5-paragraph email about one design and how I want it to be. And then he calls me back and he's like, okay, this, and this. And he's also giving me ways to produce the art and options even to like print things myself or put things together myself. So there's this kind of collaboration that's happening.
Well, because this person can see your vision, right? That they're a yes to being able to take everything that you're dishing. Whereas like the other guy was like, ugh, here's your money.
Yeah, it was just like some stranger on the internet that, I took a chance on.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of the line, there's a Kanye line, I think we've talked about it before, Violet, where he's like, when he yells at the chauffeur, like, I ain't mean, I'm just focused. And it's like, it's that, like,
yeah,
I ain't mean, I'm just focused.
Yeah. That line gets me all the fucking time. It's like, oh, yeah.
It's like art direction for life in a way, or like it's learning to be the director and delegate and like release control, but not release standards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the vision.
And
hold the vision.
Compromise.
I feel like, I'll speak for myself, but there's like a certain level of wading through the tender emotional response to like when you try something and they don't get it and it doesn't work and you feel like you have to start again, and every time you're starting again it's like just what Jen was saying before we were recording, like you have to gather yourself, be completely in the present, and to a certain extent disregard the times when it was a painful experience to try to delegate or like, you know, we talk so much about like the childhood manifestor experience. And it like I think we're acutely aware of sort of false authority when someone is just given, they're put in that managerial position, but they're not taking responsibility. They're not maintaining the standard. They're not communicating clearly. They don't have humility. They don't have their heart in it.
Yeah.
That makes it very tempting to just be like, ugh, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like, lately I've been thinking about how if I see a really bad play, like in the theater, it hurts me really deeply.
Yeah.
And that is, I can take that and be like, okay, well, I'm going to write a play. I'm going to try to put myself in the position of directing something that has reverence, that has care, that has attention to detail. And I feel like that you can map that out to like anything that we work on, like that bad leadership hurts us because as manifestors, we are leading with or without our consent.
Yes.
But it's our consent that makes that, it's our willingness that makes it work.
That
Monologue.
so much of this conversation, I'm just like, this is the wavelength I've been on. Like all these little tendrils are coming together. It's funny, like how you said, like bad leadership sticks out to manifestors. Well, I was just reflecting the other day on how, like, I went through this whole period of my life where I was obsessed with cult leaders, like studying cult leaders. And after I basically involved myself with someone who was, I think, going to start a cult, it forced me to like look at that whole picture and why I was so drawn to these characters and wanted to study them and wanted to understand them. And it was because I recognized that they were a situation where power was being bent and it wasn't a channel to something higher. It was getting bent off to the ego and circulating there. And this is where people lead others astray. And there's something so deep in my soul that wants to avoid that experience, that wants to develop a heart-centered, soul-grounded leadership that only leads people back to themselves and is always devoted to something that is higher, a higher order. We don't serve a personality. We don't serve a person. We serve a higher order. And yeah, it's just felt so important to my soul. And I think it is because part of our role here is to like vision this better world. And we understand the gravity of our power and we know it can go both ways.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I think this is why a lot of manifestors like sidestep their power most of their lives.
Yeah.
We're really scared of the negative consequences of that. We are very, we're worried about misusing our power and causing really negative impact.
Yeah.
we're terrified of that, you know, and it's something that I think we all have to reckon with if we are going to own and create on the other side of that spectrum. Like, you have to tango with the fact that depending on where someone's standing at the time, you are having a negative impact on people. It happens, it occurs, right? And sometimes it's because of your own misjudgments. Sometimes it's because of your blind spots. Sometimes it's because you got a little vengeance inside of you
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
comes out
say,
every now and again.
what if I like it?
What if you like it? You know? And being able to hold that can come from you. And it also, the harm, the negative impact can come from another person's perception. Like, we've talked so much about how manifestors have to start getting comfortable with disappointing others, because that's basically like the static you have to move through to decondition. You have to get over that I'm going to ruffle feathers, irritation, scaries, to actually get to the point where you are allowing your body to do what it does. Because when it does what it does, sometimes, yes, it disappoints people. Sometimes, yes, it hurts people. But my belief system is that it's correct to let your body be what your body is and allow your body to do as your body desires to do. And I will say desire with a capital D. That's another conversation, but I'm going to differentiate here.
Yeah, I feel very early on, I had many experiences where I had negative impacts and very quickly learned how to kind of like let it roll off my back. And maybe it was utilizing a little bit of the villain archetype, like, well, sorry, but I feel grateful to have had those experiences. Now, you know, at the time it you know, does hurt when your friends are like, ah! And you're like, what? I didn't even do anything. Like, I really just didn't do anything. Like, why are you freaking out at me? But to be able to process those and kind of build, I guess, the thicker skin to the reactionary piece of what your impact does for others. It's like, okay, well, sorry, not sorry.
I always come back to that like Zen proverb, like, who knows if a thing is good or bad or not?
Yeah.
That story of just like bad thing happening that leads to good thing, that leads to bad thing, that leads to good thing, that leads to bad. Like, we can't sum up the whole of our lives and know where anything actually hits on the good bad scale.
Yeah.
I don't think our brains have the ability to process that. Even if it was like, even if we were like, there is for sure an objective good and bad. I just don't think our human brains have the capacity to truly suss that out. I don't think we do.
Mm-hmm. And that pattern, like you said, like of something bad leading to good, because it's like, you know, the divine redirect, you know, something shit happens, but it always spits you out on the other end where, like, exactly where you needed to be. And it's like, oh, thanks. That was uncomfortable, but
it's like life always gives you what you need, not what you want.
yes.
Yeah. However, when you surrender to that truth and allow yourself to be carried by the current that is a surrendered life, you're brought to places that are beyond your wildest wants. They're truth.
Can confirm.
I want to plug our fridge magnet collection coming out soon. It's gonna say go to bed, who can say? And then underneath it's like a 3-paragraph monologue about surrendering. they're like live, laugh, love, and always surrender to the truth of who you are, and you'll be led to the best.
Yeah.
Don't follow leaders. Follow. Oh yes.
Can I speak to Violet what you were saying earlier about wanting that drive? Is that a good word to use? A correct word to use? You want that drive for your own work.
Yeah, I'd say drive and like authority.
Ooh.
Is
okay.
Yeah. That's what it feels most like for me, is to like holding that, or
okay, yeah,
like holding that frequency without being so floppy, because I think that's the piece for me. Like it gets floppy to ask and then just hold the vision, really. Like, oh no, but wait, only if you want to.
Well,
that kind of flop.
You just gotta keep stroking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I think wanted to come through for me is like, I have felt such a radical switch in the past 2 months from being like super flaily to like finding my spine. And it really feels for me like building the infrastructure to hold your own power. And then when your power is on and circulating and alive and you are like trained to hold it now, the urge just comes, and it comes out of you in an authoritative way automatically. But I feel like me as my experience as a manifester, as a powerhouse soul, as someone built with a capacity for big power, like my linchpin is other people.
Yeah.
And because the training has been, the programming has been, the conditioning has been, it is safer to give up my power when exchanging with other people.
Yeah.
Without any other story. It's just like, it's safer. My body believes it's safer.
Yes.
So what do I do about that? And my solution has been train my body to hold my power. That's it. Like not any extra stuff am I doing. It's just that. It's like, hold it. And in the course of 2 months of intentionally doing that, I'm having I'm like, what? Like, wait, it's this easy? I can just say the thing that I want and life responds to me. I can just say the thing that is like true right now. And like, I can initiate what's true, what's real right now. And like life, sometimes it's bumpy, but life reads it.
Yeah. So much. Yes.
Something to say, Pipey Pipe?
Okay. Well, okay. I had an experience last week where I've been doing a little bit of online dating. And so there was 2 people that I was talking to. One of the men bought Nick Cave concert tickets. The other men
to take you out.
That I was like, to take me out, to take me to the concert. So, wait. The other one is the one that I was like, this, like, you. And then I realized, like, oh shit, I want to go to this concert, but not with him. And so what do I do about it? And then it came to a point where I was like, okay, I know I have to tell this one that, you know, so it was like, would you still want to go just as friends? And he said, yeah, sure. That, you know, fine. And then is like, but if you would rather, you could have the ticket to take whoever you want to go with. No strings, no reaction, just very cool, calm, and collected. Like, bless this man for just being like, yeah,
An adult.
here, take them. Yeah. And
Because he bought them for you. That I could energetically feel.
and
so he gave them to you.
He transferred them to my name. He sent me a fucking parking pass, like everything.
Wow.
And it was just like, and I was like, well, do you want me to pay you for them? And he was like, well, if you want to, but you don't have to. Like, he was like, just send me some stickers. And I was like, I could fucking do that. So I got to go on this dream first date with this dream man for fucking free. And I just keep thinking of the stupid, in the Harry Potter movie, one of the later ones where he's trying to get the memory out of the professor and he tells him, be brave, professor. And I just keep thinking about that line. Like, it just keeps repeating in my head. And it's like, especially with like, there's like such jadedness around dating, and especially online dating. Like, oh, it's never going to happen. So I'm just going to sit at home and rot and watch Netflix and by myself and like be okay with it. But it's like, you have to be brave. You have to keep putting in the work and keep, you know, turning the pavement in favor of your dreams, because otherwise, what the fuck are we even doing? And so be brave, professor. Like, say your fucking truth, be open-hearted, be honest. And then, like, what did you just say, Jen? Like, life is gonna
just give up.
The thing.
Life is gonna reshape around you. It's gonna just come to meet you. Like, okay, Karen, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go off. You gotta go.
No, I was only saying, go off. Give up. Go off. Give up.
Well, what I feel about this literally is just the pure metaphysics of it. Like, the frequency of allowing what is authentically arriving inside of you, out of you. The act of that is so great in this universe. It is one of the highest frequency offerings. And when you're holding that, it's like you are transporting to wherever that is in the quantum field. And even though all your circumstances, everything that's surrounding you may stay the same, it must be the place that you are frequency wise in the quantum field. Like, that is putting you somewhere. That is somewhere. That is a new place than where most of us have operated our entire lives. And so every moment where I make that offering, that is what life does. I said this thing the other day. Oh my God. And my friend just like, he was like, oh, what did you say? And I repeated it. And he's like, he's not spiritual, but he doesn't believe he's spiritual, but he is. And it was something like, I believe life is always listening. Like, just that simple. Life is always listening. And it's listening for the resonance, that frequency that you're holding. And so everything that, wherever that places you in the orchestra, there you are. Wherever that frequency is in the universe, that is where you will find yourself. And life will show you that. It will reflect that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Golf clap.
Orchestra clap, golf clap. But it's, I've been thinking about this so much lately. Like, the materialism spirituality debate is done because life is all of the above, it's just so irrelevant to say whether you're spiritual or materialist because life is always alive.
That when you first said it, I was like, it's alive. It's alive. And that is what I said. That was the full quote. Life is alive and listening to us all the time. That was the full line. So that is like, that's the animistic point of view and perspective. That's really every spiritual tradition on the planet's perspective. They have different shapes for life, you know, but like deity shapes or whatever, but like ultimately everybody's saying the same thing. Life is alive and listening to you, responding to what you're holding, what you're feeling.
That's probably why prayer is so powerful.
Yeah, literally. I think Neville Goddard talked about this, but like most people's prayers who don't work are the people who are like whining to God, you know? Like, but ultimately those who are begging versus those who are like prayers of thanksgiving, living your thank you, you know, who are praying as if it is done. They are thanking God in advance for the great work he is doing in their lives, you know? Like those are the kinds of prayers that are felt upon. Like you actually are in the feeling state of knowing it is coming and thanking in advance. That changes like your entire physiology. As manifestors, are we uncomfortable with silence? Like in a group?
No, I'm pretty good with it, I feel.
I was just hoping that you couldn't hear my toast crunching in the.
I was
like
just
my
thinking.
thing was lit up green.
Well, I was thinking about like silence is kind of our ultimate truth in a way, and then I was thinking about how I would fill the gap when I'm producing.
That's good.
Well, maybe it doesn't mean failed.
Precisely.
There is a really good pause in episode 1, and I was just like, oh my God, it's a Selah. Like the pause in the Hebrew Bible, like Selah was like that pause between stanzas, you know, and it was like that space to like be with what you just took in, you know?
And
When
also
I was
what a
going
gift to not need
to a
like
lot of
somebody be like, hey, what's going on? Why are you so quiet? Okay, that's all I had.
I was just gonna say when I was going to raves and I would always dance between the beats and I would always find these like fun little offbeat rhythms because if you watch the crowd and everyone's on drugs, right? They just become these like washing machines. Like they're just moving to like that one beat in the song. And I would find myself there, and then I would look at, and to switch it up, I'd find these weird little, really, it was silences because they were just beats in my head that I would like start moving my feet to and start dancing to. And everyone around me in that experience would like break out of whatever the fuck that thing was. And it was just always the best time. And I stopped, like, the group that I would always go with, they'd always lose me because I'm like, I'm fucking bored right here. I don't want to drone out. And then I just kind of find these people and these little pockets in the rhythm. It's like my favorite thing.
I think you answered your own question.
What?
You answered your own question.
What question?
The question about
What question?
running things.
Remind me.
The question about running things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, sounds like leadership to me, just saying.
Yeah, it's like finding your own rhythm leads you to others who are also on that wavelength.
Yes,
you know?
and
Been listening to a lot of that.
a lot of
improv-y things.
Oh.
Yes.
And comedians. That's like the world that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I really do think improv is one of the highest spiritual paths on this planet.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the philosophy. Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's like tantric. I never thought of that before.
No, it's 100% tantra, but it's without all the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Without all the bullshit. No offense to any tantrikas out there listening.
But it's like with the purity. The purity.
Bisou.
It's like the purity of play, though.
Yes, yes.
It's like the signature of playfulness.
And like you can role play rather than actually
identify with everything that's coming through you in the moment. You don't have time to make it up. It's living through you. It is the moment. It's not you. You get to be a detached channel for what life wants to serve the scene in every moment. And this is where we start to actually experience space between our history projecting on the moment and being able to feel like truly present and not taking things personally and not in a 4 agreements. I'm trying to remember not to take things personally. You know, I've done that manually
and you are
for
like
about 15
fully
years.
committed, the full commitment.
Literally, it's committing to just like it, not I'm being the most excellent actor or I'm being the funniest one in this moment or I'm looking good or I'm hot and sexy. It's really surrendering all the images that you would prefer yourself to be taking. And trust that life works in miraculous and mysterious ways. And perhaps letting go of what I want to come across like allows something more powerful than me to move through me. Hallelujah.
So this month I'm sitting with Gene Key 21, which is the shadow of control and the gift of authority and city of valor. And just like hearing this whole conversation really rings like the frequency of that experience from moving from control to authority and just speaking into the space to allow life to form. Like that frequency is
Informed.
Informed.
is it.
It's informed.